group.
Absolutely. No, it's a great group. They come to work every day, that's all you can ask for from those guys. They're workers. They're receptive. Again, like we talked about earlier, it's a process. I mean, this is the first day in pads. The first 2 days they were sort of feeling out the technique, but they saw on film when they watched, okay, this works. I can play a little bit stouter on the edge. I can set some better edges. This works in the pass rush. And then it becomes a mentality thing. Today was very much a mentality day. What we're trying to accomplish from an outside backer room, setting the tone, being violent, using our hands. And it was a good day. There's a lot of improvement to still be made, but they came up and they're like, okay, I see what you're talking about, Coach. And so it's good there.
How much has moving around some of the guys like Josh Pascal and Alex King and those guys helped out with just the overall defense right now?
Well, obviously the move was made in the best interest of the defense. Those are the two guys you mentioned are really good players, and they'll be good players here. And I think they're finding a home in their new spots. Obviously, other than watching on film, I didn't have much interaction with them prior, but you watched Josh on film last year. You knew wherever you put him on the field, you could put him back at safety and he'd be a dominant force. So I think to get the best 11 on the field, I think we've done that.
Steph seemed pretty high on Jordan Wright toward the end of last year. Now, kind of what have you seen from him as one of those young guys?
Definitely excited's the word. The thing with Jordan is you just have to understand he's just that. He's a young guy, and there's going to be a learning curve there. And the more he gets comfortable, the better he's going to be. But the athletic talent's there, the length's there, the want to is there. He's one of those guys. He's going to be the first one in the meeting room. He takes good notes. He asks good questions. But the thing that will continue to draw from Jordan, and I think it's going to be a comfortable thing, is that he needs to become more vocal and more assertive and trust himself the way we trust him. Hey, I think, and that's a progression with any young guy. They're just trying to do right, as opposed to, hey, go make the play. Do your job, do it the way we taught, but at some point in the down, you have to check football player and go make the play.
Josh Allen's a guy that last year really had kind of a breakout year, especially early. What do you hope to see from him this spring?
We're working on the details right now. We're working on some edge setting things that he's come to me and said, this is really gonna help. He felt it. And he's gotten into that mode. Like golfers, that if you take a bad swing, you know what you did wrong. We're starting to get to the point where if he has a bad rep, he can come up to me and say, this is what I did wrong. You don't have to correct it. And that's where you're going to go to. You're going to have bad reps, and you're going to have to pull yourself out of those bad reps. But as much clean technique as we can have early in the down, he'll be more successful longer.
Brad, from looking at tape last year, and obviously I know you weren't here, but Josh did not seem as disruptive the second part of the season as the first. What do you think? What do you think happened?
There's a lot of factors there. I think you wear out as the season goes along. I think that the additional weight that he put on this year is really going to help him. He looked really fast and explosive early, a little bit more out by the end of the season. Because that's the thing, is that outside backer position, you got to bang. You got to do a little bit of everything. You got to be able to drop. You got to be able to set an edge against a tackle. You've got to be able to rush against it. And I tell those guys all the time, there's nothing harder in football than rushing the passer. Because if they throw the ball 40 times a game, it's a great game when you get 5 sacks. So that means 35 other times you're not getting home, and you got to run out of the stack. And it's not demoralizing. It's just part of what pass rushing is. So if you can get home 1 of every 8 reps, you're hunting as a whole unit. And that's not just you, that's the whole unit if you can get 5. Forget just an individual. So I think it wore on him, but I think he's in good shape. We're getting there. He needs to continually get in better shape, with that added weight, because that's going to start to wear on his legs. But he takes it serious. sky's the limit for him, and I think he's going to push himself to get there.
All right, folks, thank you very